Thanks so much for joining me today. I'm Colleen Klimczak. I'm an organizational and productivity coach and a certified professional organizer. I own Peace of Mind Professional Organizing, LLC. Since 2003, I've been helping my clients live better lives through organizing and organizational and productivity coaching. I support my clients and my community with coaching, in-person and virtual organizing, my weekly podcast called Your Organized Life with Colleen Klimczak, a free weekly virtual productivity session called Finish Line Friday, a free weekly email newsletter, and regular content on Facebook and Instagram. I also offer presentations and professional development to groups and companies. And coming soon, I will be launching a membership circle to support my community with even more coaching and productivity content. Want to finish strong this week? Join me for Finish Line Friday every Friday morning at 9 a.m. Central for a 2-hour productivity session. Drop me an email at colleen@peaceofmindpo.com to request my Zoom room link or follow the Zoom room link on my Instagram or Facebook pages. Welcome to Your Organized Life, episode 164. So today's title is Better Together: Why Accountability Helps Us Do What We Already Know. And so I will start with the end in mind. We are better together, right? We are smart people and we also need experts. We can be both, right? We also need experts to help us determine what the right things to do are. And we are more likely to do those right things if we have supportive people to help us do them. We are better together. So today is about the power of accountability. On a recent call, an insightful friend mentioned that she was scheduled for an upcoming physical therapy appointment, and that she had not been doing the prescribed exercises faithfully. She mentioned, too, that in times past, she might have been tempted to cancel her appointment with her physical therapist because she was embarrassed that she hadn't done the work. She shared, sometimes when we feel accountable to someone, it would be tempting to cancel the appointment so we don't have to admit to them that we didn't do what we were supposed to do. I mean, yep, right? I know that this is true and that she's right, and there are times that I feel the same way. Better still, though, she later shared that she was glad that she had kept her appointment with her physical therapist because her PT is very kind and said, okay, well, let's use this as a reset then. No judgment, no punishment. Let's just get back to it. And I like that, right? Receiving some grace, even though she didn't do the things, and also the reminder of what she is supposed to do and how to do it. So that was one recent conversation about accountability, about using the regularly scheduled appointment to recommit to the progress we want to make, or to recommit to ourselves with the guidance of an expert or a team member or a medical professional in this case, knowing they will be keeping track with us. Relatedly, I have monthly maintenance chiropractic appointments. I go to the Natural Health Improvement Center in Palos, and they are awesome. And I was chatting with my chiropractor as he snapped and crackled and popped my back. We always have good conversations. And as he also has coursework in physical therapy, I mentioned my friend's insight about not wanting to see her PT because she hadn't done what she was supposed to do. And he said, isn't that the truth? He observed that, this was his quote, I'm guessing this was a guess, but that 85% of our problems would be gone if we would actually do what we know we're supposed to do. If we're going to a physical therapist because we have a sore shoulder, our shoulder would likely be less sore sooner if we are compliant and do the exercises that were given to us, right? So if we're accountable to ourselves first to get things done, and if not to ourselves, then to our physical therapist or our chiropractor. If we're compliant, we can expect to feel better or expect to do better. And if we aren't, then we may still heal over time which happens with physical therapy, right? But we'd probably heal faster or feel better sooner if we just did the things we were supposed to do. And for the record, before I left my chiropractic appointment that day, I confirmed I didn't have any homework to do before I left. But isn't that true for a lot of things, right? We would just be better off if we did what we know we were supposed to do. As I chatted with my chiropractor, I mentioned the same idea holds true for organizing and coaching. There are things that my clients themselves declare out loud that they want to do or change or achieve. And those would happen more quickly if they kept up on organizational or productivity practices regularly and not just when they and I are scheduled to meet. I strongly recommend to my in-person clients that they maintain their organizational progress between our organizing appointments so that when we are together, we can start on a new project on their list instead of spending an appointment just getting us back to normal. And I offer accountability support to them if they find that helpful, like checking in or sending reminders. If we maintain the organizing between appointments, we can make more progress during our sessions. The in-between times, the daily activities, that is when we make the habits and when we maintain and even make more progress. A friend recently mentioned that he goes to a local gym and works with a personal trainer every other week. Not every visit, but a few times a month to keep him on track with progress. The trainer most likely makes sure that he's doing his exercises in proper form to avoid injury and will also suggest new ideas when he is ready to advance. All of this is accountability. Accountability is doing what we said we will do. We know that accountability works. When I've had issues to work on, my chiropractor will send me a short video on how to do the stretches or exercises the right way, or refer me to a video on his YouTube channel to watch. And he'll ask at the next appointments how the exercises are going, how often I've been able to do them, maybe ask if they've gotten easier over time, right? Regularly scheduled, checking in, requiring a report. Accountability. Or when I had PT years ago for a hip issue, they provided handouts on how to continue the healing on my own at home, and I left them in a highly visible place as a reminder to do them, and also to remind me to report back to my PT at my next appointment on how things were progressing, right? Progress is in the in-between times. It is compliance and it is maintenance. So first, let's realize that truth. And then we need to identify where in our lives, personally or professionally or medically in this case, whatever, where we need to use this information. Where do we tend to stumble? What sound and sage advice have we been given by people who are experts in whatever we are paying them to be our experts about? And are we actually doing the things we were told to do? It would be great if we can be accountable to ourselves and commit and complete the exercises or the reps or the organizational maintenance on our own. But some of us or some of our goals just aren't made that way. And in addition to our experts, we may need support from our community as well. It's not magic, it's support around small and consistent steps towards a goal. How much better would things be if we kept up with that consistent action that we have been advised to take? And how much easier would that consistent action be if we have a partner or support in that process with us? Some of us do better with exercise classes that we sign up for and pay for and have friends waiting for us at. That's accountability. Or we find that we're more consistent with exercise when we have a walking buddy. That's accountability too. I work with professors and authors who've been in professional writing accountability groups. The group members are working on separate topics, but having a block of time on a calendar to virtually meet helps those members make progress faster than if they wrote alone. That is accountability. So I am that accountability partner to others in productivity coaching and organizing. I have sent weekly texts to clients that say, for example, hey, it's going to be a great week. This is a reminder that you wanted to do X and Y and Z every week. you've got this, and let me know how I can help. Or, hey, we're scheduled to meet next week and you wanted to make progress on this or that before we meet. How's that going? And that reminder then that there's still time to make progress. Or I could send a text that says, hey, here's an article that I read that supports those things you were talking about in our last coaching session. Let me know how you feel about it, right? So all of those things are ways that other people around us can give us those supports. Are you ready to give it a try? So first of all, accountability can simply be telling a supportive person about your goals. If they're a friend or a loved one, you may even want to talk about how they can support the plan, like asking for check-ins or arranging that you will send a celebratory text when you accomplish today's tasks, or write that article, or take that walk, or make that difficult phone call, whatever it looks like for you. And yes, I have 2 accountability partners. The process helps me in a number of ways as well. I'm a verbal processor, so having an opportunity to talk things out when I need clarity is very helpful. We also write reports. I know that sounds very scary, but honestly, it's just a descriptive email with bullet points to each other a day before our planned meetings, and that helps me to collect and organize my thoughts and check on my progress. And if you are considering an accountability partner, there's a couple other things to think about. First of all, both of my accountability partners have been professional organizers, for example, and have experience and insight into my professional world. One I met while taking coaching courses together and is the coach that I want to be when I grow up. It's not required that you find an accountability partner in your area of expertise or interest, but it might be something to think about. It's also not required to know a person well to set up accountability with them. A side benefit, though, is that my accountability partners are really great individuals, and our friendship has grown over time, and it's awesome to have them on the team because we are better together. We are smart people, and we also need experts to help us determine what the right things to do are, and we are more likely to do those right things if we have supportive people to help us do them. We are better together, and that is the power of accountability. Support around getting things done, like accountability, is what productivity coaching is all about. If it's time to invest in yourself and explore coaching for organizing and productivity, I would love to hear from you. Drop me a line via email at colleen@peaceofmindpo.com or message me through my social media platforms like Facebook, Instagram, or LinkedIn. Thank you so much, and I will talk to you next week.